welcome back to Game On. Now we're going to do a review, Binding of Isaac Rebirth, a long-awaited remake of Binding of Isaac by Edmund McMillen.
Sounds cool.
Sounds awesome. Bruh.
When Edmund McMillen first released Binding of Isaac, he had no idea it would become as popular as it did. In The Binding of Isaac, you play as a toddler whose evangelical mother is trying to sacrifice him to prove her love to God, much like the story of Isaac and Abraham from the Bible. To escape your mother's wrath, you crawl deeper and deeper into the depths of your basement, shooting monsters, deformed babies, and living poop with your tears along the way. As the enemies become more difficult, you collect more and more power-ups in hopes that you will eventually become strong enough and deformed enough to kill your own mother. The thing is, every time you play, the game is a different experience. You pick up different power-ups, you face different enemies, you enter different-looking rooms. In fact, it's impossible for you to see everything that there is to see in the game in your first run-through, even in your first dozen. This makes the game great for achievement hounds. Since there is so many secrets, it takes so long to find them on account of the mysterious and cryptic nature of the game and the basement it takes place in. This is a great game to play in small doses since a run can take anywhere from a minute to an hour, but it's also great for binging because it's so easy to get sucked into it. For fans of the original Binding of Isaac, there are plenty of new updates to the game, like a huge graphical update, local co-op, seeded runs that let you replay the same exact run again, or send that run to your friends to see who's better. There are now supersized rooms, there are 3 new playable characters, the bosses have all been rebalanced from the original one. Also, Rebirth has seen over 150 new items, which doubles the count from original Binding of Isaac and its DLC put together. I would go on and say more, but that would ruin the effect of finding things for yourself, which is half the charm of the game. All these improvements make Rebirth feel like more than just a reissue of the original. All the new material makes it feel almost like a sequel to the first. McMillen has said before that if he knew Isaac would become as popular as it did, he would have put a lot more effort into it. Rebirth is a follow-up on that. Pretty good review, huh?
Great review, dude. Solid work there.
Thanks.
You know, I really felt like you captured the essence of Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
And essential it is. I was a huge fan of the first Binding of Isaac. I logged like several hundred hours into it because, you know, why not? What else do I have to do?
Just play video games, man.
Yeah.
Snack and play video games.
Yeah, true. I don't want to tell you how many hours I've logged into snacking, but I mean, it's like
I haven't
tens
played
of
that
thousands. It's real life. It's when you eat snacks in real life.
Is there DLC?
Other
Where
snacks.
it's like,
yeah.
you know, you get these snacks and it's like, yo, we'll throw in like a Snickers bar for $1. And it's like, yeah, dude, give me that.
So
Yeah.
I had never heard of Binding of Isaac until today.
now?
Yes,
I-
until
What, do you not play indie games or something? Are you a dork?
I like my GameCube a lot.
That's
Yeah.
not...
GameCube is an indie console.
It kind of is. Like, when you really think about it.
But what is your favorite thing about Binding of Isaac?
I just love how, like, the simplicity without being simple at all. It's like you can just sort of jump in, and every time it's the same game, but totally different. Do you know what a roguelike is?
Oh, who what?
It's procedurally generated, which means it is randomly generated every time, but it's randomly generated with a certain set of parameters so that you don't get spawned in a room that has no doors and you're stuck there forever.
Kind of like Don't Starve is randomly
Yeah,
generated.
if you ever played Risk of Rain,
Nope.
Okay.
Wow, I'm really bad at life.
well, that's also like another indie game.
Risk
It's-
of Rain, Teleglitch, Don't Starve,
Played Don't Starve.
Binding of Isaac.
The maps are randomly generated, and the power-ups and the enemies are randomly generated, but otherwise you're just going through like X amount of levels just every time. I think I had a weird experience playing Binding of Isaac Rebirth because I played Binding of Isaac on PC, hated it because I didn't get it. I got up to the first boss and I died. And I was like, well, this is dumb. Like, I don't want to just keep playing this one game over and over because I didn't know it was like one of those like random, like you get power ups every time and stuff. So I sit down on my PS4 Binding of Isaac Rebirth is one of the free PS Plus games this month.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Take out my PlayStation app and download
Yeah.
that.
No.
Actually, no, I'm not signed in. Never mind. I'm not going to download it.
So I started to play this game, and I beat it on like my 5th try. Apparently that's not a thing.
It gets harder after the first like couple of times. Like I won on my first playthrough. My friend won on his first playthrough, and I've not won since.
I mean, I've had
wow.
like over the course of like this one run, I could fly. I had like a Grim Reaper hood. I had a mask that like did less damage. I had like a bunch of like blue orbs around me that would fly and blow up like on dudes, except they wouldn't like disappear. They would come back.
Yeah.
And then I always get more orbs every time. Like it's a weird game.
That's like half the fun of the game is that since you never know what you're gonna get, it's like, hey, guys, it's like my mom said, like Binding of Isaac Rebirth is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Never.
So, but the charm of that is sometimes you will walk into the item room on the first level and you will get the worst item. You can get an item where every 2 rooms you poop. And that's the item.
Is that just the
like it's a recharge
steak,
item.
Is that the steak quesarito from Taco Bell?
Yeah. It's just an activated item, and every 2 rooms you go through, you can poop, and that's it.
Cool.
And if
That
you
sounds
get
like my sort of
that
game.
on your first level, you'll probably lose because that's a really bad item.
What if you
Does it, like-
throw the poop and
does it-
blind?
You can't throw the
Okay.
poop.
Does it like do
Just poop.
Does it
Okay.
like damage you?
It's just regular poop, like the poop that they have in rooms. That
yeah,
you can cry on?
you break it and there's like stuff inside.
What?
Yeah, that's
Dude, this game is
I
weird.
need to play this game.
It's a weird game.
I thought Don't Starve was
just
weird.
a
No.
regular turd.
You're like this boy whose mom is like super like crazy like evangelical.
It is actually the story of Abraham and Isaac from the Bible, except instead of Abraham, it's a mother who watches Christian television.
So like she thinks God is talking to her like, I need you to kill your son. I require a sacrifice. So like you go and you run into this basement, and then when you're in the basement, like that's where the game starts, and you kind of go through this thing. But it's weird, like you shoot like tears.
Yeah, you like cry.
And the items are like, there was one, it was like a glass jar, and I picked it up, and it said chemical burn. And so like I picked it up, and then half of my face was like red and like fleshy from just being like burned off.
Yeah.
And then like every tear that I shot, because they alternate, every tear I shot from this one did like burning damage or something. Yeah. It's a weird game.
That's really interesting. That's a really interesting concept, especially since the power-ups are randomized. Like, that's definitely one of those games where it's never the same experience twice, which I definitely like for replay value.
Yeah, it's like that's why I love roguelike games, just because there's so much replay value. Like I don't have to invest so much time at once just to play through a game just one time. It's like a series of small time investments. And Binding of Isaac Rebirth is a great jumping off point for anyone who's interested in getting into roguelikes because it's very simple. It's not insanely hard like some of them are, but it is very, very fun, and there are so many different items. Like, you're never going to get the same run twice. But if you want to, in Rebirth, you can take like a seed code and send it to your friends, and they'll get the same run as you, which is kind of fun. You gotta prove you're better than your friends.
Sounds like a cool game.
It is a cool game.
We
Thanks,
gotta
John.
we gotta go take a break, but when we come back, we're gonna talk about some things.
We're gonna talk about things.
Thanks.